10-minute rule motion. Emma Hardy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to grant local authorities increased powers of compulsory purchase, to amend the law relating to land valuation and compensation, to make provision requiring landowners to fulfil conditions relating to planning permission and for connected purposes. Mr Speaker, it will be of no surprise to you or any member that I begin this speech by extolling Hull's virtues. Hull is a growing, successful city that is attracting significant investment and undergoing really positive change. The Council has already granted numerous housing, commercial, industrial and educational permissions, the majority of which have been implemented and are taking other vital steps to secure our future. Those members present in my Westminster Hall debate yesterday will have heard me talk about one such step, Hull's bid to become Yorkshire's maritime city. They will have heard me talk about the proud place that the sea plays in the city of Hull and how for years the shipping and deep-sea trawling industries dominated our economy and their buildings stood prominently along the skyline. One such building was the Lord Line building in the St Andrews Dock, which was constructed for the Lord Line trawler fleet in 1949. The Lord Line building is locally listed and a site of personal significance to the people of Hull, as it is one of the last buildings relating to Hull's fishing heritage. It is a site of the dock where the fishing boats used to come in and out of when we were the capital city of the UK fishing trade, but it has been left to go to ruin, causing great upset in Hull's fishing community. Young people go in there for reasons that I don't wish to elaborate on here. We can see from the discarded needles, the bricks thrown from the top of the building and the fire engines that attend the site regularly that it is not being properly safeguarded or protected. There will end up being a tragedy there because people keep going to the building and it remains so unsafe. And if you ask people who it is to blame, they will answer Manor Properties. The company own the Lord Line building and have a habit of promising pie-in-the-sky wonderful big dreams to the people of Hull. And to be honest, if they were able to deliver on their original proposals, that would have been fantastic. But then time passes, work is not done, the building continues to be damaged and loses its integrity, and then a vital and beloved part of our history as a seafaring city goes to rack and ruin. This is an exceptionally important local issue, but it is one that also goes to the very heart of the concept of property rights and what we value in this country. As a representatives of the people, the question we must answer is whether owning something gives you the right not to just use it and earn from it, but to actively destroy it, especially when it is of cultural significance to others. Of course, this is a philosophical question, but that does not make it any less important to answer. If anything, abstracting the question makes it an easier one to answer. Imagine instead of a building, for example, it is a priceless piece of art or a beloved public service. There are few among here that would say that anyone, even those who own such artefacts, have an absolute right, for example, to take a shredder to the Mona Lisa, or on these benches, destroy our NHS. The fact that we can accept there is no absolute right to destroy the property you own is one of the bases of our compulsory purchase system. But unfortunately, in one area in particular, our current system of compulsory purchase does not go far enough. This is a situation where a property developer continually fails to fulfil the conditions of their planning permission within a reasonable amount of time, like in the Lord Line case, and this is a situation that my bill seeks to address. The main provisions through which we aim to do this are by 1. Enhancing compulsory purchase powers where planning permission has not been implemented in full within 5 years. These powers would enable a local authority or other relevant body to acquire the site, provided that it commences development within 12 months of the acquisition and that at least 50% of the development is completed within 3 years. And 2. Introducing compulsory sale orders that can be utilised by councils under the same conditions. These compulsory sale orders would give local authorities the power to order that a piece of land that met the required conditions be put up for open auction. Related to this, the bill makes provision for the introduction of completion notices and for changing in what it means for a developer to make a material start to a property. This is done to prevent a developer just digging a hole and claiming that work has been done. We are lucky in Hull. We don't have a particular problem with land being held from the housing supply, but that is an additional issue that could be tackled by these bills. These 2 new powers will allow for a common-sense system to the transfer of ownership of buildings in a productive way that will prevent anyone being able to sit on a piece of land and run it down. It would also give local authorities a choice and even allow those cash-strapped councils to free pieces of land from abusive ownership while properly compensating the owner. However, we must consider what we mean by proper compensation, and again my bill contains two provisions to address this matter. The first establishes the rate of proper compensation to be given in that Planning Bill 2017-2019 that was induced by my honourable friends, the member for Dulwich and West Norwood. And secondly, it would require a discount in the compensation where a notice has been issued under the Section 215 of the Town and Planning Act 1990. And we must also look at removing VAT from any conversion works to properties in heritage action zones and introduce new pots of money to be administered by Homes England and available to local authorities to unlock these pieces of land. Mr Speaker, this is not a situation that is unique to Hull. It is also not particularly a party political issue. We have these problems in constituencies up and down the country, and in the recent report by the Right Honourable Member for West Dorset on land banking revealed as much. This bill offers a common-sense method to address the issue that is potentially acceptable to both sides. Yes, there may be tangential issues in my particular version of the bill that some would disagree with, but I plead with those members who do disagree, and with the government as a whole, not to throw the baby out with the bathwater on this and work with me. To people on all sides, I say let us find a common-sense compromise solution that will not allow Lordline to crumble, and act now to save this piece of Hull's history. The people of Hull will not forgive or forget us if we don't.
Order. The question is that the honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it.